and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just want to point out the exits. You have one in front, one behind me. Tentative budget fiscal year 2026 to 2027. A public hearing was held on Tuesday, April 7th, 2026 in the boardroom of the Village Hall, 7 States Road, Monroe, New York, at 7 p.m. to hear comment on the proposed tentative budget for fiscal year 2026-2027. While this hearing was closed, it remained open to receive written comments for 10 days. The tentative budget includes maximum compensation for the mayor of $84,000 per annum, and for the trustees, $16,222.50. No written comment was received. Do we have any board comment? No board comment?
Well, yes, I'd like to start if I can. I just received this evening with apparently corrected numbers. I did receive an Excel spreadsheet from the treasurer last night, which I went through, and I did speak with her. And there appears through this thing there's been a lot of modifications here without, I didn't know anything about it. We had one workshop on a Friday night for 2.5 hours. We got all the way up to DPW, I believe, and then we stopped. Is that correct?
Right.
And several days later, when I came in here, you guys were in the clerk's office, and you said that we were going to go with the preliminary budget.
Yes,
What did you say?
I said, I asked you, because you said you were going to work on the water,
That's correct.
and I said, when, because we need to finalize this budget. And you were busy, and I said, well, then we'll leave the water the way it is. And that's what we did. The biggest change to that budget had to do with
Health insurance.
retirement, health insurance. I think one health insurance was almost $1 million more than the preliminary budget had in there. So when we got the correct numbers, we had to go through that budget and try to keep it.
$1 million more, because I had 232,000 there.
I don't know, in total. Every
Total, all right, the one line was
every-
232,000.
Every single line from the state went up. Retirement went up, medical went up, all those benefits went up. And they were never included in the preliminary budget.
All right, and then we're taking $300,000 from fund balance to the general fund for the budget?
We finally ended up.
Or actually, I'm sorry, 350,000, because I just got,
350, yes.
yes, this one says 300, my numbers are all over the place, but,
Well, because the reason for that, and I could let Marilyn or Richard explain it to you, because when we did that budget, okay, and we had line items, and it tallies up, it came up to a 1.86 increase in the budget. When Maryland put it into what the state needs for the 2%
tax
cap, it came out to more. So obviously, our the formula in the program that we're using did not figure it out correctly, or something happened. So we had to go in today and figure out how to get it below the 2% tax. That's why we raised the fund balance to 350. That's the only thing we did. We didn't change any of the line items that was already explained. But this is supposed to be discussed later in the agenda.
Well, since we brought it up, there's been no independent financial studies in the Village of Monroe since 2021. Only 2022 is now being completed. Then we have to go to 2023, 2024, and 2025. You're way over on engineering contracts, they were overspent. You added a new parking enforcement officer position. You got parking equipment out there that's costing us thousands and thousands of dollars that are not budgeted, and you look at them, we've got garbage bags put over them, okay? The building department, we're gonna discuss that later on during executive session. You got parks, contractual parks, you got over $600,000 overspending on Airplane Park and Crane Park and the dredging. There's a traffic light project not funded, $650,000. We're gonna try to locate that money. There's a highway truck, $250,000. We still can't find where that money's coming from.
Highway Reserve, there's
Okay.
there's 338,000, I believe, in there.
Okay, well, I didn't see
Somewhere
it.
around
I
there.
didn't see
Highway
that.
Reserve line.
The attorney fees, the lawsuits, the laws that have been passed, that it's costing us money here. We didn't even get to the bonds, the bans, or the interest rates. You know, we're purchasing buildings and properties, we don't know where that money came from either. Where's the maintenance and where's the tax gonna pay for that? You got contractual audits, we're overspent on attorneys, we have, I think I touched off on the engineering contracts. Read about tents and trailers. The money that was spent here there was no control. Now, we're looking to control that, and we're going bare bones on this matter this year. And John, you were part of this discussion, because it was Friday night where we all sat here. Other than what we discussed at that table, there was no other changes. And I mean, I can go on. The street lights are over, and I can go on and on and on. I think we got enough. Anyone else on the board has anything to say about this item? No. Joe? So. Okay. I just lost my sheet, I'm sorry.
You want this?
Here we go. Okay, the department reports, I'm sorry, department reports. I need a motion to accept where the monthly reports were accepted and filed. I need a motion.
Berenger will make the motion. Piper second.
Discussion? Are you doing
Discussion,
the
just
minutes?
just the monthly reports here.
You said they have them? Okay.
They're attached to the minutes that came.
All right, disregard. I'll get that. Disregard, yep.
Call the question.
Berenger, aye. Piper, aye.
Carl, aye.
So carried. We have minute approval for April 7th, 2026 organizational meeting. I need a motion.
Carl will make the motion.
Second it?
Any questions?
Any question, any discussion?
No. Berenger, aye. Piper, aye.
Carl, aye.
So carried. I'm going to minute approval for April 7th, 2026 board meeting. I need a motion.
Make that motion.
Berenger will second.
Discussion?
Any discussion?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Whereas during the meeting, there was a vote taken regarding a resolution of actions taken by the former village board, which I was a member of. During that discussion, I talked mostly about the critical water source protection areas, water intakes, and the reason for buying the properties. And somewhere along the line, Trustee Barringer had asked, what exactly are we voting on? I heard Mr. Nugent explain the three bullets on the top of stuff that was enacted. I did not hear the bottom half of that where certain things were nullified, and I would like to change my vote to a nay vote.
That's for the prior meeting? That's what you're looking for, the name vote on the prior meeting?
Yeah, for
Yeah,
that.
for the April 7th meeting.
No, you voted it.
Trustee Carl, I'm sorry, this is a new one for me, so I apologize. I'm unaware as to whether or not you can change your vote after it has been cast and the meeting has been closed and the resolution has been carried.
Okay.
No,
But I would note your comments for the record in regards to the meeting, but I don't believe that minute approval allows for a change of vote at this juncture.
All right, thank you.
Call the question.
Berenger, aye. Pfeiffer, aye.
Mancuso, aye.
Carl, nay.
So carried. Reappointment, Zoning Board of Appeals, member Elizabeth Dougherty. Resolved, the Board of Trustees accepts the recommendation of Zoning Board of Appeals Chairman and reappoints Elizabeth Dougherty to Zoning Board of Appeals member with a term commencing April 1st, 2026 and expiring March 31st, 2031. I need a motion.
Carl will make the motion.
Second.
Joe did.
Joe.
Mancuso, second.
Berenger, aye. Pfeiffer, aye.
Mancuso, aye.
Carl, aye.
So carried. Appointment of seasonal laborer, DPW, Michael Zara. Resolved, the Board of Trustees hereby approves the appointment of Michael Zara, a village resident, to the position of seasonal laborer. Michael has been pre-approved from the Orange County Department of Human Resources and completed a background investigation with an effective date of May 4, 2026 at a rate of $25 per hour. And be it further noted that Mr. Zara previously worked with the Department of Public Works during the last season and holds a Class A commercial license. I need a motion.
Carl will make that motion.
Second.
Pfeiffer, second. Berenger, aye. Pfeiffer, aye.
Mancuso, aye.
Carl, aye.
So carried. Resignation, part-time dispatcher, Thomas Iazzetti. Trustee Barringer.
Be it resolved, the Board of Trustees accepts the resignation of Thomas Iazzetti, part-time dispatcher, effective April 26, 2026. The Board wishes him well in his future endeavors, and I'd like to put this in the form of a motion. I'll second. Berenger, aye. Pfeiffer, aye.
Mancuso, aye.
Carl, aye.
So carried. Resignation, Planning Board Member Keith Allen. Resolved, the Board of Trustees accept the resignation of Keith Allen, Planning Board Member, effective April 14, 2026. The Board wishes him well in his future endeavors. I need a motion.
Make that motion.
I'll second. Berenger, aye. Pfeiffer, aye.
Mancuso, aye.
Carl, aye.
So carried. Appointment of Labor Attorney Goldberger and attorneys at councilors at law. Resolve, the Board of Trustees designate the law firm of Goldberger and Kremer, 50 Beaver Street, Suite 204, Albany, New York, 12207, to the contractual position of Labor and Employment Counsel for fiscal year 2026 to 2027. I need a motion.
Berenger will make the motion.
Carl will second.
Berenger, aye. Pfeiffer, aye.
Mancuso, aye.
Carl, aye.
So carried. Resolution establishing Village of Monroe meeting rules. I'm going to refer that back to the attorney. We brought this up at that meeting on April 7th. I need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Berenger will second.
Discussion.
Yeah, I got some concerns with it, I'm just trying to find my, one second. No, I have it.
It's in the packet. Should be in the packet that we just
Yeah,
got.
I had it all highlighted out, everything was. Stand by, let me just. Again, my concerns are limiting, especially village board members, when a discussion could go more, and you're giving them 3 minutes to speak as well as the public. That is a concern of mine.
I think board members are given 5 minutes, not 3.
Yeah.
You know, if we have a meeting, we have limited foot traffic here, which seems to be most of the times. If somebody wants to speak more than 5 minutes or 3 minutes, whatever the case may be, we should allow them to do that.
You mean this during public comment or during an agenda item?
No, during public comment.
Well, I believe it says that the presiding officer has an option.
Well, I don't know why we're curtailing. That's not it. I don't know. I just had the whole thing all highlighted out for tonight.
Well, I think
Again, I think we're limiting even the public. If they want to speak, they should be able to speak.
Well, I think they are able to speak, and pretty much.
But you're limiting.
Pretty much what we're saying is, you have 3 minutes, and you should be able to do what you want to do in 3 minutes. Now, if you have something longer and more involved, you're more than welcome to request to be put on the agenda, and, we're glad to hear your comments.
Can't find it at this time, but call for the vote.
It also, under 1.3, a speaker can speak for 5 minutes during a public hearing and 3 minutes during public comment at the same village board meeting. So they can have up to 8 minutes.
Yes, I've seen that. I remember being at a town board meeting and there were 3 public hearings. And somebody spoke from the public and it wound up turning into like a lot of time. But we've also been here where someone has spoken for a good 25 minutes. And it just went on and on. I think 5 is pretty fair.
Okay. Call to question.
Berenger, aye.
Pfeiffer, aye.
And you, so I.
Carl, nay.
So carried. Budget adoption fiscal year 2026 to 2027. Resolved, the Board of Trustees adopts the budget for fiscal year 2026, 2027. I need a motion.
Berenger will make the motion.
Pfeiffer, second.
Berenger,
Discussion.
oh, sorry, any discussion?
Discussion. Call to question.
Berenger, aye.
Pfeiffer, aye.
And you, so I.
Carl, nay.
So carried. Unpaid charges levied to the fiscal year 2026, 2027 tax roll. Resolved per the requirement of Orange County Real Property Tax Service the preparer of the June village tax bills. The Board of Trustees authorizes the village clerk to forward the following amounts to be levied to fiscal year 2026, 2027. June village tax. Amount to be raised by taxes, $8,339,277. Unpaid water charges, $478,523.52. Other charges, unpaid fire inspection, $620. Property maintenance charges, $8,858.01. The unpaid property maintenance charges and unpaid fire inspections listed pertain to the following properties. And a list the properties. I need a motion.
Carl will make the motion.
Second.
Berenger, oh,
Discussion.
sorry, any discussion?
It's a lot of money in the water.
Any further discussion? Call the question.
Berenger, aye.
Pfeiffer, aye.
Booth, aye.
Carl, aye.
So carried. Remote live stream management, Andrew Ruiz. Resolved, the Board of Trustees hereby accepts the proposal for remote live stream management services for up to 7 Village of Monroe public meetings per month, including remote monitoring, digital publishing, and archiving, and post-meeting editing, at a cost of $800 per month, to be allocated from budget line A1989.4500, General Government Support Contractual. I need a motion.
Carl will make the motion.
Pfeiffer.
Keith, so second.
Oh, go ahead.
Discussion. Call to question.
Berenger, aye.
Pfeiffer, aye.
And Keith, aye.
Carl, aye.
So carried. Discussion, groundskeeper for Crane Park.
And this is,
Go ahead.
this is something that I've been looking at, and I want to pass it by the board. I would like to see us dedicate a department or a person at this point to parks. The title would be groundskeeper. We've already gone through civil service. It's a title for civil service. It's not competitive. It's be a full-time position. Instead of hiring two, and let me just explain, most of all the work that was done in the park, and it was a great job, but that was done by the highway department. You notice there's a new playground there, there's a lot of work, we wanna see some improvements as far as more flowers and just everything. So we're looking for, or I'm proposing a groundskeeper that would be dedicated to the parks. This is somebody who would be responsible for making sure that everything was clean, everything was fixed up. I use an example in my narrative here. We recently got a complaint about the 911 memorial, and how it's in bad shape inside. I firmly believe that if we had a groundskeeper who owned the parks and took pride in it, they would have informed us or done something before it got to the condition that it's in now. So, again, I'm saying that instead of doing 2 seasonal for the highway department, we do 1 seasonal and a groundskeeper. That seasonal could help the groundskeeper in the park. I think the new playground is going to be an ordeal. I've already talked to the highway department, and they're in there every single day, cleaning up and everything else. So I think it's something that we should consider. There is a line item for parks. There's enough money to pay for that person, and I am requesting that the board goes out to advertising for that position.
When you say there's money in the park, Joe, are you looking at the park's personal services of $142,000?
$142,000.
That,
Now, the other thing that I have to say about that is, everything that gets done in that park right now is being charged off to the highway department.
Well, it is, it's split out. Actually four personal service lines that equal up to $1,089,761 that covers the payroll in the highway department.
And the,
So if you take one of those lines for something else, you gotta make that money up somewhere to pay the guys in the highway department. Because there's four lines, 5 guys come out of the snow removal line at 142,227, and also the parks has 142,237. It's been like that.
I understand that, but the same work is getting done. That person is still gonna do the plowing, that person is still gonna mow the grass. So what I'm saying is, there's a line item to fund this.
What, you know what line item that is?
That's 142. It's the one that had 142.
But these salaries are already committed.
The 142 is already committed?
Yes. Yes.
We'll have to, like I said, we're not,
That's why if you look at the budget lines, you'll see 142,237 for parks, and you see 142,237 for snow removal. And then you have street maintenance at 713,705, and street cleaning at 91,582. That adds up to $1 million.
I think we'll get a savings, number one, by not having to hire a second seasoner. Now, the other thing that I was informed, my thought was seasonal, I thought was 19 weeks. Seasonal is 9 months.
It's 8 months now.
8 months now. So, if we have to find a little money someplace, we may have to do it, but like I said, the bulk of this is already in the budget.
And this would be a non-union position, correct? Or would they be in the unit?
No, right now, I talked to Aldo about it. I would see it as a non-union position, okay? The problem with that is, we have a closed shop, so it's IBW. So they can't really work out of, the highway department. So we are looking at the old ambulance building as a place for them, as a base of operations.
Well, can I make a suggestion? I know we're looking for a public works supervisor or DPW superintendent. I think maybe look to focus on getting somebody in here, and then I would rather see them part of the whole team than be separate, and then who would be overseeing them? Somebody's got to give them direction of what to do.
I think we did that in the MSD form, right?
For what?
We had to put somebody who's basically in charge and overseeing that department.
I don't know who's overseeing it. All I did was put the duties.
We'd have to have somebody overseeing and giving direction, work schedules and whatnot. And then if they're off, and say they're watering flowers, and the part-timer doesn't come in, now who waters the flowers? Because now your union shop's gonna say it's not our job.
That's true, but like
You
I
know.
said, this is to dedicate someone to those.
No,
jobs,
I
so we don't have to worry about that.
I
mean,
get
You
it.
can use that same scenario if there's a water main break and you got half the highway department there. Who's gonna do the concerts and everything else?
So it's kind of like a Crane Park groundskeeper. Is that kind of what we're thinking, Crane Park?
groundskeeper. It could be this building too,
Okay,
on the outside of this building. It could be shoveling snow in the wintertime.
okay.
Instead of having a highway guy who's making $35, $40 an hour. So,
Like in front of Village Hall type?
right.
Would we anticipate a savings in overtime by putting this person in it with set hours?
I would anticipate it, yes. Because I see we have highway trucks on Saturday and Sunday. I see them going around. There are some things that they're gonna have to help out with. I mean, like Cheese Festival, that's not something one person one person can clean up, that would have to be permanent.
Well, again, I would like to see us keep doing what we're doing now and get a new supervisor in here and take a look at this again. I just think it's gonna be a burden on somebody. It's gonna have to oversee this employee, because if he's not part of,
I've already elected out.
You were what?
Elected out.
Oh.
Joe, can you put your mic towards you?
Is that better?
Yeah, much, thank you.
Okay. Okay. Authorization to advertise for the Code of Ethics Board.
Wait a second.
I'm sorry,
Let me
I skipped one.
finish- let
I'm
me
sorry,
finish
I'm
that.
sorry.
So that's a
I'm sorry.
discussion.
Mhm.
I guess I would like to at least see us advertise for the position and see if we have anybody interested and what qualifications are.
And I skipped a page on you. Authorization to advertise for groundskeeper position, Crane Park. Resolve, the Board of Trustees hereby authorizes and directs the village clerk to advertise for the position of groundskeeper for Crane Park in order to ensure the proper maintenance, safety, and upkeep of said park, and that such advertisement shall include the necessary job description, qualifications, and application procedure. I need a motion.
And what will the salary be, just because we have to put that in there?
I'm figuring something around $27, $28, a range.
I need a motion.
Berenger will make the motion.
Piper will second.
Discussion? Call the question.
Berenger, aye.
Piper, aye.
Thank you, so I.
Carl, nay.
It's okay. Discussion, formation of Code of Ethics Board. Trustee Mancuso.
Okay, so we have a code of ethics, and we've had it on the books for many, many, many years. Code of ethics has the village board as the arbitrator of the code of ethics. I don't know if that's the best way to go with that. I think it inhibits some people from making a complaint. And I don't see, it's sort of like the fox guarding the hen house. So I would like to see, similar to what they did in town, there's a separate board who would oversee the code of ethics. So again, I'm suggesting maybe we should go in this direction. And right now, I'm just suggesting we put an advertisement in and see if there are people interested in sitting on that board. I have looked over the code of ethics. As a matter of fact, I have it here for anybody who wants to see it. I do think it needs to be tweaked a little bit. Like I said, I think it's like back in the 90s was when it was put into effect. So things have changed a little bit. So that's my suggestion.
And to that point, Deputy Mayor, and I apologize for jumping in, obviously there would need to be a local law amending the current code as it stands anyway, were the board to decide to go away from the current code that authorizes the village board to police itself. So there would be an amendment anyway, leaving room for it to be tweaked then. It could probably be included.
For if we decide to go forward with it.
That's correct.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's fine. And actually, in that motion, we would also have to have counsel. So I don't know if it's going to be Nugent's firm or what it's going to be. At least, and it's going to be an as needed. So if we go a year without a complaint, the board will never meet. So I'd just like to have it in place in case somebody's got a problem with Al, they can, they can complain.
I think it's a great idea.
Any thoughts on using the county ethics board?
Um,
And take
I
everything,
don't-
take it out of here altogether?
I don't see an actual need for that, be perfectly honest with you.
Because I did go on their website today and I did look up their ethics board. Or referral by local boards to the Board of Ethics, referring to the county. The board shall not act with respect to officers and employees of any municipality located within the county or agency thereof where such municipality has established its own Board of Ethics,
Well,
Except-
we have a board of ethics.
except that the local board may, at its option, refer matters to the county board.
Yes.
We have it on the books, we have not been, I don't ever remember the board.
I don't, and maybe that we'll never need it.
Yeah,
Okay,
But-
But I just think it's, why do you have the village officials overseeing that when theoretically, they could be the problem?
well, and that's why I think maybe take it to the county level.
Well, I don't know, now, John, you know I was on the town code of ethics.
Yes, I know.
I also know that they're not gonna jump at something that they know you already have,
That's correct.
okay? So,
But our board's been inactive many years.
I know it has been.
And I think
Not
that
saying
might be,
it's right.
it's an option to look at, it'd be no cost to us.
What's the cost of this ethics board?
Well, if you use it, the cost is going to, well, first of all,
Attorney,
an attorney to just kind of review it. Now I know things have changed quite a bit. It used to be boards that get paid, now I see we pay our board members. So I wasn't thinking in terms of paying them. Like I said, we're looking for volunteers, people who would like to do something in the community. So that's where I am.
Okay, authorization to advertise for the Code of Ethics Board. Resolve, the Board of Trustees hereby authorizes the village clerk to advertise for qualified applicants to fill a vacancy on the village's Code of Ethics Board, and that interested residents of the village of Monroe shall submit a letter of interest and resume to the village clerk. I need a motion.
I'll make,
Sorry. Berenger will make the motion?
I'll second.
discussion.
Discussion.
Didn't council say, do we have to adopt a local law for that?
Well, the way the resolution is currently worded, it is simply the Board of Trustees putting out an advertisement. There's nothing in there that as I read it, would lead to those individuals or individual being automatically put on the board. If the Board of Trustees were to come to a decision as to whether they would like the applicants on the board, at that point, it would be appropriate to do a local law, or we could do the opposite, draft the local law, the board passes it, and then puts out the puts out the resolution. I don't see a legal impediment to either.
To advertise.
Correct.
Right.
Right. As long as the advertisement is very clear that it is not a guaranteed position simply by putting it in. This is, it's almost the board testing the water, as it were.
Absolutely, because we don't know if anybody's even going to want to do it.
Okay, call to question.
Berenger, aye.
Piper, aye.
Mancuso, aye?
Carl, nay.
So carried. Authorization to advertise, invitation to bid blended phosphate solution, orthophosphate. Trustee Carl.
Yeah, resolve the Board of Trustees hereby authorize the publication of a legal notice in the Time Sale Record soliciting bids for the blended phosphate solution, orthophosphate, to be used at the water treatment facility, with said bids to be opened Tuesday, May 19th, 2026 at 10 a.m. at Village Hall. And I'll put that in form of a motion.
Berenger will second.
Discussion. Call to question.
Berenger, aye.
Pfeiffer, aye.
Mancuso, aye.
Carl, I.
So carried. Authorization to advertise invitation to bid sodium hypochlorite, liquid chlorine. Trustee Carl.
Resolved, the Board of Trustees hereby authorizes the publication of a legal notice in the Times Herald Record soliciting bid for sodium hypochlorite liquid solution, chlorine liquid solution, as I know it as, to be used at the water treatment facility, with said bids to be opened on Tuesday, May 19, 2026 at 10:15 a.m. at the Village Hall, 7 Stage Road. I'll put that in form of a motion, please.
Second.
Call to question.
Berenger, aye.
Pfeiffer, aye.
Mancuso, aye.
Carl, I.
So carried. Refund request, building department, 20 Multi Circle.
Oh, we got one.
This one?
Got one more. I'll grab that, Mayor.
Oh, go ahead.
All right, resolve the Board of Trustees hereby authorizes the publication of a legal notice in the Times Herald Record soliciting bids for polyaluminum chloride, which is a PAX product, to be used at the water treatment facility, with said bids to be opened on Tuesday, May 19th, 2026 at 10:30 a.m. at the Village Hall, 7 Stage Road, and I'll put that in form of a motion.
Second.
Call to question.
Berenger, aye.
Pfeiffer, aye.
Mancuso, aye.
Carl, I.
So carried. Refund request, building department, 20 Molten Circle. Resolved, the Board of Trustees approves the refund of $150 building permit fee to the property owner of 20 Molten Circle, as the fee was paid for the repair of a front step, for which a permit was not required, to be allocated from budget line A2555, building department fees. I need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Carl, the second.
Discussion? Call the question?
Berenger, aye.
Pfeiffer, aye.
Mancuso, aye.
Carl, I.
So carried. Hudson Valley CEO Educational Conference, Building Department, Robert Wallner and Brian Barberina. Resolved, the Board of Trustees approves the attendance of Robert Wallner and Brian Barberina at the Hudson Valley CEO Educational Conference, to be held on April 21st and 22nd and 23rd of 2026, beginning at 8 a.m. at Novellas in New Paltz, New York. The cost of the conference, in the amount of $385 per person, shall be charged to budget line A3620.4720, Building Inspector Education. A village vehicle is authorized for use by the attendees for transportation to and from the conference. Attendance at this conference will provide the required 24 continuing education credits. They're at that conference today. So I need a motion.
Carl, I'll make that motion.
Berenger will second.
Discussion? Call the question?
Berenger, aye.
Pfeiffer, aye.
Mancuso, aye.
Carl, I.
So carried. Payment authorization, number 8, Van Kuren Booster Pump Station Project, electric construction. Trustee Carl?
Yeah, resolve the Board of Trustees accepts the recommendation of Village Engineer David Higgins, P.E., and approves payment number 8 submitted by TAM Enterprise Incorporated for the Van Kuren Booster Pump Station Project, electric construction, in the amount of $24,526.15, to be allocated from budget line F 8340.4500, distribution contractual. All documentation has been reviewed and found complete. Mayor Malcuria is hereby authorized to sign the voucher, and I'll put that in form of a motion.
Second.
Discussion? Call the question?
Berenger, aye.
Pfeiffer, aye.
Mancuso, aye.
Carl, I.
So carried. Event application, Cub Scouts Fishing Derby, May 3rd, 2026. Resolved, the Board of Trustees approves the event application submitted by the Cub Scouts to host a fishing derby on the south side of Crane Park on Sunday, May 3rd, 2026, from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. The application has been reviewed and approved by the Building Department, the DPW, and the Police Department. The Monroe Police Department will monitor the area and provide assistance as needed at no additional cost. Monroe Fire District and Monroe Volunteer Ambulance will be notified. I need a motion.
Make that motion.
Carl will second.
Discussion? Call the question.
Berenger, aye.
Piper, aye.
Mancuso, aye.
Carl, I.
So carried. Resolved that the Board of Trustees waives the event application fee due to the Cub Scouts being a non-profit organization. I need a motion.
Berenger will make the motion.
I'll
Carl.
second.
Discussion? Call the question.
Berenger, aye.
Piper, aye.
Mancuso, aye.
Carl, I.
So carried. Authorization, Prosperity Marketing LLC, Edison Guzman. Resolved, the Board of Trustees accepts the proposal from Prosperity Marketing LLC, represented by Edison Guzman, for marketing and social media services at $500 per month, charged to account A 1620.4500 Village Hall contractual. Two proposals were received. Prosperity Marketing LLC submitted the most cost-effective proposal. I need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
I'll second.
Discussion?
Yeah, we, the two proposals, were we comparing apples to apples with it?
Yes.
Everything was the same?
Yes.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Call the question.
Berenger, aye.
Piper, aye.
Mancuso, aye.
Carl, I.
So carried. Public hearing schedule, Orange County Community Development Block Grant Program Funding Application 2027. Resolved, the Board of Trustees authorized a public hearing to be scheduled on Tuesday, May 5th, 2025 at 7 p.m. to invite public comment and suggestions regarding projects to be considered for funding under the Orange County Community Development Program. I need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Berenger will second.
Discussion?
Yeah, you have 2025.
2026 is correct. I need a motion.
Now I'll make that motion.
And Berenger will
problem.
second.
This is for
Basically, what this is,
2027.
it's for next year, so, I went to the meeting, there's a mandatory meeting if you're gonna apply for, CDGP grants. And they required, the first thing you do is set a public hearing, so the public has an opportunity to throw some ideas at you. So that's what this is.
Any further discussion?
No.
Call the question.
Berenger, aye.
Piper, aye.
Mancuso, aye.
Carl, I.
So carried. Independent consultant, Marilyn Carlich, treasurer training and support. Resolved, the Board of Trustees hereby authorizes Mayor Melchiorri to retain Marilyn Carlich as an independent consultant to assist with training and support related to treasurer duties, including but not limited to guidance on financial processes, review of records, assistance with reporting requirements, and any other task reasonably related to the effective performance of treasurer responsibilities. Marilyn College shall be compensated at the rate of $50 per hour for services rendered, to be allocated from budget line A 1325.4500, treasurer contractual. I need a motion.
Berenger will make the motion.
Piper, second.
Discussion? Call the question.
Berenger, aye.
I would just like
Oh,
to.
sorry.
can I
I'm sorry.
discuss?
Yeah.
I'd just like to say that Marilyn has actually been helping Elizabeth. Elizabeth is a new treasurer. She started April 1st. So Marilyn has worked in the village many years ago. She has worked in, she now currently works, well, I won't tell where you currently work. And she knows the program very well. So Elizabeth is anxious, yes, very anxious to have her. And thank you, Marilyn, for what you do.
Thank you.
Yay, Marilyn. Welcome home.
Mm.
See, Marilyn, I told you you'd be back. Remember that conversation?
Any discussion, any trustees want to say anything, any discussions?
Just a reminder again on the fireworks, which will be on Friday night, July the 3rd this year. We're doing fireworks and a drone show. We got that band, the Mighty Spectrum, so we'll have live music and there'll be a street festival. We've got quite a few vendors in and we're still looking for a few more. We'd like to get some not-for-profits to come in, and it's a golden opportunity to make some money for your organization. Feel free to stop by the Village Hall, get an application, but it's going to be a nice show. I got the fireworks guy coordinating with the drone show people, so the drone show will go up for about a 12-minute show, and then the fireworks will go right after that. So it should be a good evening for everybody.
Good, thank you.
Can I just stop for a
Call the
second?
question.
Yeah, we just called a
We have to call
question
a question.
on Maryland. That's when we stopped. So Berenger, aye.
Piper, aye.
Thank you, so I.
Carl, I. Are you going to repeat myself now?
No, once is enough.
But I do, so are we on to, if we had a comment about something
Yeah.
else, or not yet?
Whatever you have, comment.
That's fine.
Okay, no, just, also, right, May 2nd, I know it was in our constant contact, and I believe it's on our, website, is Monroe Clean Sweep, which we know is, a great event, and I know we've noticed a lot of just garbage around from whatever. If we could get the most amount of people we've ever gotten, I think it would be great. There's a lot of places we could clean up. And I think it would be great for our board, if we're around, to work together at that. Hopefully we could, could just be the best clean sweep we've ever had. It's May 2nd from 8 to 12, and we meet at St. Anastasia. They usually, if you sign up online, you usually get like bright green shirts, and, you can fill a lot of bags of garbage, and it looks really nice when we get it
Is
done.
anybody from the board working with the committee that's doing clean sweep?
I don't know, I usually just sign up and go, but I
think
guess I could look at it.
Aldo's been involved in that. I don't know if anybody,
Yes.
I don't know if the former mayor has been attending them or not.
Yeah, I don't,
I know Debbie and I, we always come up here behind the Village Hall, we clean here, we work our way behind the Old Monroe Tavern and just go along the Harris Trail. It's,
okay.
Give me a
Yeah, you
stick.
get the stick with the nail, and,
I'll take it.
yeah, we could spend hours.
that stick with the nail works for about 3 minutes.
Yeah.
It's always wet, you always need
Hold me down.
you always need boots or something, but
It
it's
hits
just,
something, it bends over on you.
looks good when we get it done.
Any other trustees have anything?
We went to the event at Dunkin' Donuts when they had the reopening. It was lovely, and they made a really nice donation to the Y.
Oh, no.
We have one of our attendees in the back.
Yeah.
Village of Monroe Memorial Day Parade, Sunday, May 24th. Step off is at 1:30 from Smith's Clove Park to Monroe Cemetery. We're looking for organizations to join us. Anyone knows of bands, dance clubs, organizations, military vehicles, whatever we can supply for our veterans, we would like to pass that word out, okay? I'm gonna toss another idea on the table, just for further discussion. Want to have a Village of Monroe Community Day. I'm tossing the idea, maybe a golf outing to start, but again, we're gonna talk about your,
You doing a cheese festival this year?
Well, that's where we have to find out who used to do it. Or who
Mary.
did it last year?
Mary Colora, she's
Okay.
from Warwick.
Do you
What
have,
about the
you have
Action
her?
Monroe?
Well, Action in Monroe was a nonprofit who used to do the cheese festival. We did it for 20 years. And then we all kind of aged out a little bit, so, we'll look into it again, but do you have the contact for, I'm assuming you have contact. Well, let's see if she's still interested. I know it's always been a success, so,
Yeah.
maybe something she wants to do.
One of the things, Mayor, that you talked about with the Community Day, what we had a few years ago, the last summer concert, we did what we do, 3 or 4 years in a row, we did a community barbecue. It was, it was a decent crowd, I think, but it might have been something we could have worked on, but it kind of lost traction. But we did a community barbecue, and like I say, it's like the 2nd or 3rd week of August weekend. Saturday. And that may be something that.
We should look at that again, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'll get with you. Okay. Executive session,
No, public comment.
I'm sorry, jumping around.
Okay.
Public comment, anyone? Come up, sir.
Just before we begin, now that the board has passed the board rules limiting public comment to 3 minutes, if the court clerk wants to just keep a timer, and just a general reminder that just for anyone in the audience, during public comment, obviously you're addressing the board, not other audience members. Board members can choose to respond, but they're under no obligation to do so. Okay?
Still 3 minutes?
What's it?
Still
Yes.
3 minutes? I'll
Yeah.
try my best.
Okay.
Abraham Cohn, E80 Spring Street. Cohn with a C-O-H-N.
Thank you.
Good evening. First of all, I'd like to, didn't get a chance to congratulate the mayor and the new trustees. And looking forward seeing them, making a difference in the community. So congratulations on that. A few things. First of all, Trustee Carl mentioned the Independence Day festival, the drone show and the fireworks. I don't think it was done intentionally. I don't think. I know for sure it wasn't intentionally. The show and the fireworks is going to be on Friday evening, and nobody of the Jewish community will be able to attend, unfortunately. I don't think there's anything to do. I mean, you can't change it, you can't alter it. That's scheduled, pre-scheduled. So for the future, any such type of festival or anything, it should be considered to do, let's say, Sunday or any other day other than Friday night, so the Jewish community people can attend. That's number one. Number two, I would like to address something that I brought up here for the board. It was probably last year sometime. It's regarding the traffic on Spring Street, particularly at the intersection of Spring Street and Mapes Place. Particularly in the summer and the weekends. For example, last week, Friday, it was backed up for about 3 or 4 hours, up to almost till King Street, if you guys are familiar on Spring Street. I live almost at the cemetery. It was backed up further up. Especially when the park is open now, or if there's any event at the park or whatever, there's more cars in the park. If there's 3 or 4 cars at the traffic light waiting to make a left turn, it holds up 20, 30 cars behind them. I'm not a traffic engineer, obviously, but there's a simple solution to put a turning lane would be the best, option, but at least a left turn signal, a separate signal, because now both sides working together. On Spring Street, when the light turns green, both sides go together. I think the ideal way would be to do on the side of Smith Clove Park a left turn signal and divide the green turns. That side should have a separate turn for a longer period because the majority of the traffic is from that direction. So I think I brought up in the past and nothing was done. So I think it's really important. That's something to look into. It can be fixed with a simple solution. So I hope you guys take care of it soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Executive session. We need a motion to go into executive session to discuss personnel and litigation.
Berenger will make the motion.
Carl, a second.
Call the question.
Berenger, aye.
Pfeiffer, aye.
Carl, aye.